If you've ridden the mesas in southern Utah, you may have noticed how they all have a consistent theme, meandering through technical terrain with phenomenal views of the valleys below. Despite this underlying theme, all of the mesas have their own unique characteristics, geology, and overall aura. Take Gooseberry Mesa for example. It's probably the most iconic mesa with the largest variety in terrain and routes you can try. And then there are mesas like Little Creek that typically have less crowds and provide terrain that feels more like an open canvas, ready for you and your bicycle's interpretation. With plenty of petroglyphs, caves, rock formations, and otherworldly colors, it's easy to get the feeling that there's more than meets the eye in places like Little Creek. The civilizations that used to reside there still seem to have a large influence on the way it feels. I find that something better experienced than explained. The differences between the mesas got me thinking about what else is out there, and what these places were like before modern times. There is a place that can answer these questions, or so I think. This is Lost Spring, a mesa located just over the Utah-Arizona border, hidden behind Little Creek. It's just far enough away, no one goes to it. I dedicated this last weekend to exploring and mapping out this mysterious place. Between bikes, hikes, and off-roading, here's what we found. It was only a matter of minutes before we found our first petroglyph panels, and our first cool rock formation to walk through. Considering that this was at the base of the mountain, we were very eager to see what lied ahead. There are berries out here, and I am no expert on what they are. They're on the pricklies. Unfortunately, one of the reoccurring things about Lost Spring was the absurd amount of broken glass and beer cans we saw. We picked up what we could, but unfortunately there is still a lot out there. As we ventured further into the wilderness, we found ourselves next to a slick rock patch, and we thought we were totally alone. After scouting it out, we saw a creepy tent, and decided elsewhere was probably a good idea. We found a spot a little bit farther down the road where we could access the slick rock. I was very excited to see what it was like to ride this stuff. I was curious if it would have a personality of its own, or feel just like the other mesas I was used to. While the slick rock patches out here were definitely harder to access, I felt right at home playing around on the rock, just like in Utah. Getting the drone in the sky and seeing all of these formations from an overhead view was an absolute treat until, well, just watch this. So I'm not sure if the drone got it on video because it fell out of the sky, but this is super weird. This says it's landing still. The drone is in the pack. And just a few minutes ago, the drone fell out of the sky and thankfully it landed in a tree. I've never seen it do that. Unfortunately, the drone did not capture it falling on footage, and this was the first of many weird technology things that would happen out at Lost Spring. After playing around on the slick rock for a while, Cass and I decided it would probably be a good idea to head back before it got too dark. Along the way, we found an abandoned bulldozer of all things, not to be expected. Despite everything we discovered on our first day at Lost Spring Mesa, I still had more questions than answers, so I decided to head out there the day after that on my cross-country bike. Through exploring 20 miles of sandy roads and slick rock formations, here's what I found.
So it is an absolutely gorgeous day out here, and from the rains yesterday, this sandy road is actually pretty packed in. I love nothing more than having nowhere to be except where I want to explore for the day. And when the weather and the bike setup matches up with that, I'm a happy camper. I'm also really good at choosing times to record when it's hard to talk and hold a camera. I saw this open slick rock face yesterday, but I didn't find a way to get to it at the time. I was up on that hill over there. But here we are now, and this is so cool. Yeah. Wow. Sick. I love it out here. Really cool. So hopefully you can hear me okay. I had kind of a creepy thing happen back there. Even though I fully charged my Axis batteries, the shifter kept disconnecting from the derailleur. And my post I had to reconnect too. After what happened with the drone yesterday, it makes me wonder if it's a I don't even know. I'm not gonna guess what it is because I am not an expert on what could cause that. So there's a lot of sandy road to connect all this stuff. So if you are thinking about coming out here, I would definitely recommend doing so on some bigger volume tires or after rain. The sand is pretty manageable and it's kind of a nice way to split up all those slick rock patches, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of resources out here. So make sure you're carrying more than enough, whether that's stuff for flats, stuff for hydration. GPSs don't seem to do so well out here. Neither does the rest of the technology I brought. So this might be a place for a mechanical dropper post and a mechanical drivetrain. It is so incredibly vast out here, and there's forks in the road everywhere. I'm trying to follow the roads that take me to more slick rock, and I'm not even sure if you can see it on video, but there is a ton way up here. But right now we're out in a meadow. Beautiful, beautiful vegetation out here. And the view of Pine Valley, the Superstition Mountains, Zion. This is pretty amazing.
Eventually I made it out to the slick rock patch I was aiming for, and it felt like a grand finale of my exploration out there so far. While I haven't explored all of Lost Spring, this definitely had me satisfied.
Found a cool line into this wash over here. Let's see how it goes. Oh my gosh. Wow. That might have been a little much for being alone, but we are okay. Wow, that was cool. All right, let's head back. Oh, that's sketchy.
I ended up exploring around 9 hours between the 2 days I spent out at Lost Spring. The amount of land that I'm yet to see on that mountain has me eager to go back. We all have those places we want to explore and check out, and this little trip was a good reminder that it's always worth it to put the effort into adventure. Let this video be a motivator and a reminder that it's always worth it to get out there and adventure. Go find yourself out there. Thank you for watching.